I want to talk to you about the center, your center, your purpose. One question that I always ask myself, even I would always ask myself, is your purpose. What's your purpose for living? Do you know your purpose? What you're created to do? Until you find the center of your being, you will continue to walk, going through the motions.
There's something about you that no matter what life throws at you, you will overcome it.
What do you do when you tried and failed and you want to quit and you want to give up?
I have failed far more times than I've succeeded. Far more. You will never succeed more than you fail. That's not how it works. You know why? Because failure is a wonderful teacher. It's the only way to learn. You have to fail. Failure is a part of the process to becoming successful.
There is no such thing as failure. Failure is just life trying to move us in another direction. Now, when you're down there in the hole, it looks like failure. And when you're down in the hole, when that moment comes, it's really okay to feel bad for a little while. Give yourself time to mourn what you think you may have lost. But then, here's the key. Learn from every mistake. Because every experience, encounter, and particularly your mistakes, are there to teach you and force you into being more of who you are.
So when you fail, it's part of the process. Keep going. You're supposed to fail. Shit, who you know that gets it right all the time? That's impossible. You have to fail.
Failure is a massive part of being able to be successful. You have to get comfortable with failure. You have to actually seek failure. Failure is where all of the lessons are. You know, when you go to the gym and you work out, you're actually seeking failure. You want to take your muscles to the point where you get to failure, because that's where the adaptation is. That's where growth is. Successful people fail a lot. They fail a whole lot more than they succeed. They extract the lessons from the failure and they use that, and they use the wisdom to come around to the next phase, success. Gotta take a shot. You have to live at the edge of your capabilities. You gotta live where you're almost certain you're gonna fail.
You got to tell yourself, despite the circumstances, the situation, I'm not going anywhere until I get to go. Until I make my dreams become a reality, I'm not quitting. I don't care how much money I have to invest. I don't care how much time I have to invest. I'm going to continue to do this until I become successful. Every single day when I show up and I let failure know, failure is not an option. You can't even let it sink into your brain, not even a second.
If everybody who's like at the bottom and feels like they have nothing going for them, reframe that as I have nothing going for me, which also means that I have nothing to lose by taking action, it makes you a much more dangerous person. And I think that was the flip that I've had repeatedly shown to me in my life that allowed me to take the step that I was afraid to take.
Isn't it about time you become that person you knew you always could be? How do you do that? You break the mold, guys. You get the out of bed when it's cold, when it's early. You do something away from the normality of what you've been doing. When everybody else says, no, this is not comfortable, we shouldn't do this, you say, yes, I'm going to introduce myself to it.
If you want to be exceptional, you're going to be different from everyone else. That's what makes you exceptional. You can't fit in and also be exceptional. Both have discomfort. When you fit in, you have internal conflict because you're not being 100% you. When you're exceptional, you have external conflict because everyone sees you as different. Pick one. When your friends start to say, you've changed, remember it's because they don't know how to say, you've grown.
You're crazy until you're successful. Then you're a genius. People think you're too obsessed. You're a weirdo. People will convince you you're out of your mind for wanting to do this. But then once you're successful, they're like, yo, your drive, your tenacity was great. But it's like, yeah, well, where was that back then? I think you're crazy until you're successful. Then you're a genius.
When you are misunderstood to the point where fucking people think you're psycho and you're nuts and you're this and that, why are you in the fucking gym at 1 o'clock in the fucking morning? You just got through doing an op. When people don't understand you anymore, you're in that spot.
It's not about the running, the swimming, the push-ups, the sit-ups. It's about what those things do for your mentality. You don't get better on the daggone couch. You get better by coming out here and getting the fuck after it every daggone day.
The thing is with me is I don't give up. I don't give a I give a shit what anybody says or what anybody thinks. I have this mindset. I know exactly who the fuck I am.
Those failures that you have are so consequential, and then you don't want that to happen again. So you got to be either quit or get way better.
Every day, it's just constant improvement, constant curiosity, constantly getting better. The results don't really matter. It's the figuring out that matters.
Me alone in the gym, me alone in the mirror, me alone in my head. No one did it for me. I worked for it, and I'm never going to let someone else take that from me.
The superpower of learning to be alone and enjoying it. Well, I think it's critical, and I do think that these times where you just think about things, just be alone and think about things, are so rare these days. And I think during those rare times is when you really get to understand what you actually believe or don't believe.
Let's shut off technology. No cell phones, no music, no TVs, no computers. You by yourself. Very few people want to be alone anymore. They want to be around noise and people. And you can't think. Be alone. Go to that dark space.
I am cold. I am emotionless. I am zen, at peace, ready for war.
And when you get to the point where all you want to do is be successful, as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful.
If you think ordinary is cool, ain't no problem. It's some really, really wonderful ordinary people. But if you are sitting in this room and you have extraordinary aspirations, then you're going to have to do extra.
Go to a dark place in your mind and figure out what the you want to be. There was no fucking trophy on the wall, on the mantle. That trophy's in my fucking brain. No one helped me get there. No one paid my fucking bills. No one did shit for me. No one ran those fucking miles, lost that fucking weight. Look, I suffered on my own and developed this man who said, "That's who I am, man." If you put yourself in the fire and you come out every day like this, brush it off, not scared to go back in there again, your truth is real.
The one companion that's always going to be with you is yourself. And I think the first thing we have to do is we have to get ourselves to the point where we don't necessarily need a companion. It's not ideal. But it's doable, and sometimes it beats the alternative. But sometimes we choose less than ideal companions, because to us that beats the alternative of not having any companion. And the reason why we cannot face the concept of not having any companion is because we're not comfortable with ourselves as a companion.
People want to find their passion, but you don't find it, you create it. And you create it by getting good at something. And to get good at stuff, you start by doing something you suck at. Then you get good. Then you like it. Then people ask how you found your passion. Answer: by starting when you sucked and not giving up.
You have to achieve failure. You have to take it that far. Nobody wants to go that far. It's too scary. But you know something? I got news for you. That's where winning is. It always has been.
Be the guy who embraces the ugly, the miserable. Be the guy who embraces hard work, the grind. Don't be afraid of being hurt. Don't be afraid of sacrificing some blood.
I dare you to fail. I dare you to take that same class over and over again. I dare you to stop dropping classes like you saw. Always want to give up. I'm dropping. Why you dropping? The problem is you ain't never felt no pain before. You're soft. It's a soft generation. You quit on everything. I dare you to take a little pain.
So you want to be normal. So you just want to be like everybody else that roams the world, not knowing the power that's in them. I see a whole bunch of people walking around out here who have no idea how talented they truly are. Now I'm talking about talent, like some God-given ability. Talent that sometimes you have to hone, you have to work on, and you have to harness yourself. And they just walk around just on their phones, just clueless to how powerful they are.
You have weirdness to you, whoever you are. Things that you might sometimes be a little bit ashamed or embarrassed or uncomfortable with, right? But you shouldn't be. What makes you different, what makes you particularly strange, if you want to use another word, is your strength, is your source of power. You've lost touch with it. Let's go back and try and find it.
Life will knock us down, but we can choose, matter or not, to get back up.
A couple of times a year, I need to do something that's going to feel like I'm about to die. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie, so I need to do something that's going to just like tame the beast. If not, I just feel like it's going to seep in other ways I wouldn't want it to in my life, you know? So make savage of the body and civilize the mind.
You don't have two people. We have the easy voice. That's that voice that we all love. That's that very comfortable voice that's that mommy holding you saying it's going to be okay. Doesn't care how good you are, just loves you. Just loves you no matter how messed up you are in life. This other voice that we walk very far away from is the voice saying, hey man, you ain't doing shit. I'm not saying to put yourself down. I'm saying listen to the truth.
See, in your life, everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. Thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. The only way the possibility remains is if you never give up.
All pain is temporary. The only thing permanent is our soul. Even our bodies are temporary. So all pain, no matter what it is temporary. And if you can survive it, on the other side of it, you will meet personality traits, emotions, thoughts, people, circumstances, versions of you that you didn't know existed before.
If you're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind. Go all the way.
The storms will come. There are times when the nights will be long and dark and you will be alone. There will be times when the darkness seems to consume everything. But don't let it consume you. No matter what is happening, no matter how hard the fight is, as long as you keep fighting, you win. Do not let the darkness win. Fight. Fight on.
I will fail my way to success. Part of the reason why we have to continue to work on ourselves is because you're going to have a lot of failures. You have a lot of disappointments. Most people go so far in life and then they park. They stop dead in their tracks. Why? Because they take some hits. When you have a goal and dream, you will have tribulations. Things are going to happen to you.
Person's character is not judged when they ride the wave of success, when everyone chants their name and you want to be their friend. No, your character is put to the test when your back is against the wall.
I don't know what that dream is that you have. I don't care how far-fetched it might appear to be. I don't care how disappointing it might have been as you've been working toward that dream. But here's what I know, that dream that you're holding in your mind, that it's possible.
You're not going to get around the rise and fall and the rise and fall. Endure when it's time to endure. Enjoy when it's time to enjoy. You know, but you're not going to get around the ups and downs of that. And, you know, it took me a few of them to realize that it's not because I'm stupid. It's not because I'm weak. It's not any of that. It's like, that's what life is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
whatever you feel when you feel down, when things don't look like it's gonna happen for you, or you might not make it, just believe on what you're doing, keep working. You know, don't let nobody tell you what you can be and what you cannot do.
Continue to do those things that you know that work for you after you have evaluated yourself in the situation. Continue to move. Stay busy, stay busy, stay busy. Sometimes you have to just back up and go within yourself. Sometimes you have to back up and go within and pray and meditate and recharge your batteries. Go away, clear your head, and then come back and look at it from a different vantage point. But if you want to begin to move into your own personal greatness, you've got to be willing to go against the tide. You've got to be willing to harness your will and say, in spite of this, I'm in control here.
At the end of every day, you look yourself in the mirror and you ask yourself, did I get better today? If the answer is yes, and you do that for 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, how much better are you going to be? Are you getting better every single day? That's the question. And it's just taking small steps. You don't try to get it all done in one day, in 1 week, in 1 year. It's the process of getting better every day and doing that for a period of years that then create the masterpiece.
Nobody can live your dream for you but you. Nobody's going to take care of your business like you. Stop coming up with excuses. Don't give yourself permission to continue to live a small life. You can't fit a big dream into a small life. Give yourself permission to go for it, to test yourself, to challenge yourself, to live full. The reason you're here is because there's something in you that says, I can do more. This just can't be it. There's something in you. There's a calling on your life.
You gotta eat it, you gotta drink it, you gotta sleep it, like it has to consume who you are. And if you're gonna be the best, the cream of the crop, if you're gonna be the apex, you gotta be it, not talk about it. You gotta be it. It has to consume you. You gotta kill. What's gonna separate you from everybody else? I do things that separate myself from everybody else. The passion that I have, the grind that I have when I do what I do. I got a different motor. I got a different grind.
Most people give up on themselves easily. You know the human spirit is powerful. There's nothing as powerful. It's hard to kill the human spirit. Because when you have a made-up mind, you don't care about the facts. You don't care about the odds. The power to hold on in spite of everything, the power to endure, the hunger, the ability to face defeat again and again without giving up. This is a winner's quality. You have that quality within you.
I'm not afraid to fail. I'm not afraid to fall over, make a mistake. That oftentimes cripples people on the onset of getting into anything.
If you want to make your dream become reality, the people that are running at their dreams know that it's possible that you can live your dream, that it's necessary, that you're relentless, that you have a plan of action, that you are creative, that know if it's going to happen, it's up to them. And they're resolving within themselves, it's not over until I win. The people that are running after their dream know they're going to have hard times. They keep on running because they're saying within themselves, no matter how bad it is or how bad it gets, I'm going to make it.
Did you know that only 1% of people are naturally, extraordinarily gifted at something? Less than 1%, actually. Think genius, think savant. Do you know what that means for us, the other 99+% of people? If we're going to do anything great in this life, it is going to require discipline. That's the truth. It is going to require you pushing through the discomfort and embracing the grind.
People always say, you gotta love the work. You gotta love what you do. You don't have to love what you do. You gotta be addicted to what you do. You gotta be addicted to winning.
One of the things that we know about life is that it is always changing. Sometimes you're up, sometimes you're down. Sometimes things go real well, and sometimes they don't. Now that's that thing called life. And when we begin to understand and know that, accepting that reality that we will never ever have